What's up, guys? It is Carly here, bringing you your Tuesday review on Body Bags. It is week 241, and today I decided to go with the movie The Apparition, which is a film that I got in the horror pack about a month or two ago. They all kind of run together in my head, but this is one of the recent movies I got in horror pack, and I've been slacking on watching the films that I get from horror pack, which is kind of pointless since I'm getting these movies in the mail and then I am not finding the time to watch them. So I decided to pop this one in today because, it's a shorter film and seemed like it could be potentially a fun idea. So the plot here is you have this couple, and it takes place a few years after the man in the relationship performs some sort of ritual with his friends to unleash some supernatural forces, and it goes horribly wrong. So now you're following this couple as they move into this house, which I think I don't understand fully. I think they're watching it for the girl's mom or something like that, something weird like that, like it's not actually their house. But either way, they move into it and weird things start to happen to them, and they don't really know if it is the house that is haunted or if it is them who is haunted, because the house is kind of a brand new house. It's on a nice property, very rich type of suburban location, so it doesn't really make sense that it would be haunted because there's no history. So they suspect that maybe it is themselves who are being haunted. So that is your story there. I have to say right off the bat, this movie is very, very just generic, kind of by the numbers ghost story, and I really didn't expect anything less going into it, or anything more, I guess you would say. It's exactly what I expected it to be, and I'm not overly disappointed or anything, but at the same time, I was kind of hoping for maybe more entertainment value. To me, it was kind of just so by the numbers to the point where I was a little bit bored by it. What I mean by that exactly is you just have your basic couple, they're in this house, and weird, freaky stuff starts happening, like the doors are open late at night, or the lights are flickering, typical ghostly stuff. Almost reminds me a little bit of Dark Skies, but I did prefer Dark Skies a little bit more. And this movie is also a PG-13 movie. It seems like I've been watching a lot of PG-13 movies, coincidentally lately, but it definitely feels very PG-13 and toned down. There aren't really any jump scares or anything like that, so it does try to rely more on atmosphere and just the creepiness factor to it, which usually I appreciate, but I didn't really get many scares out of this movie. It didn't really creep me out or anything like that because I'm so used to movies playing out this way, and that's another thing, it is very, very predictable up until the ending even. Like, the ending is pretty predictable, maybe not the final part, but you just kind of know how the movie is going to play out, and it's whatever. It's just another ghost movie. That's all I really have to say. I mean, The Apparition, even by that title, you wouldn't expect too much. It's starring Ashley Greene, who some people might know from the Twilight films, and I think her and her boyfriend do a pretty solid job in the movie. I think it's acted well, and it has pretty decent dialogue too. It's not overly cheesy or sloppy or lazy or anything like that, so I will give it that. It does have decent dialogue, and the actors are actually trying in it, but overall, it's not overly that scary or anything like that, and to me, it wasn't really necessarily that fun to watch either. I will say, if you are into these ghostly movies, you might enjoy it more. Me personally, growing up, I used to like movies like this, but now on rewatch of some movies I used to like that have similar concepts to this one, and as well as watching newer ones, I find that they just don't really do it for me anymore because they all just kind of feel like the same type of movie. But if you are into ghostly haunted house type movies, I would recommend a movie like this just because it's not a bad movie at all. It's shot well. There are some nice scenes, especially there's a part going towards the end where I just think the scenery looks really good. It's very dark and dreary, and I really like that about it. But overall, pretty generic, not anything special or anything like that, but at the same time not horrible, so I give it a 6 out of 10, just a little above average. So yep, that is the Apparition. Thank you guys for joining me for this Tuesday review, and I will see you next week.